Okay, here we go. Hey, welcome everyone. How we doing? Hope everybody's good. And everybody, yeah, whoever's tuning in, I really appreciate the attention. Sorry about the late notice. This is just something an idea of we actually I'm not even gonna take credit. My boy Jarvis Little had a really good idea here as far as what we'll be doing moving forward. Again, this is Mike Hatcher, State Chairman, Tennessee USA Wrestling. Moving forward here, any seniors that commit and then want to make their formal announcement on our podcast. I think it'd be a great way to recognize these kids for all their hard work and all the dedication they put in the sport and just the opportunities they have moving forward. I think it's really important, just in general. And I'm really looking forward to doing this from here on out. Tonight, is going to be the very first one that we have as far as these commitments, and we just expect a lot more of them in Tennessee. It's just something that we're doing. Like I said, again, this whole podcast, it's something that we're doing for the kids, for the coaches, for the programs in our state, for all the people that put in the hard work, and just way to showcase everybody, and we're really super excited. So tonight, obviously, we have our very first one of this and first of many, because we do have some great kids in our state and that are going to be guys, girls side that are going to be really, getting some good opportunities here moving forward. So for those of you guys don't know, Jake Stacey, Green Hills senior, really just a great kid, is making his college commitment, at this point right now this week. And sorry about that. Got a little ding there. But and so we figured we'd have him on. So I think he's starting to get situated here. He's just getting out of practice, and I just kind of left practice early. So, but other than that, we have some very talented seniors here that are going to be making some commitments to their colleges here moving forward. So again, anybody that's on here, we really appreciate you guys tuning in for this emergency one, and hopefully we can get Jake rolling here. But we also appreciate all the support we've had for this podcast up to this point. It's been a really great deal. My co-host Kenya Sloan, because it was a last minute deal here, couldn't make it. So, but she will be on, hopefully in the future here, and as long as we can continue to, not do them so last minute. So hopefully we can, kind of be a little bit more diligent with it. But like I said, we just came up with this idea. Jarvis just approached me with the idea yesterday. And I thought it was a great idea, just because, like I said, any way we can recognize these kids for their hard work, I think it's just super important. So without further ado, I think we got our guy right here. There he is.
What's up? Sorry, it wasn't working on my computer. I had to get it on my phone.
Oh, that's okay, man. Any way we can do it, man. Getting you on, that's I'm pretty pumped, that you were so willing to do this, on such a last minute. I texted you last night at about 9-10 o'clock. Yeah. Man, that's so cool, man. But let's before we kind of let the audience know here, what you decided on, just kind of take us through what your recruiting process looked up to this point, before the decision was made, kind of maybe some schools that, you were interested in, some schools that you visited, and just kind of how everything just kind of came about to what we're about ready to discuss here in a bit.
So it started about pretty much exactly a year ago. Mm-hmm. Started talking to some colleges, and so had some contact me, contacted some, and took a couple of visits this fall. And then the school I'm committing to, which I'll say in a second, that was actually my first visit. And I liked it a lot. Like, as soon as I got there, I kind of knew, but I still wanted to give all the other schools chances, and then wait a little bit, make sure I'm really set on this and making the right decision. But I feel very confident that I've made the right decision. I'm super excited.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. Well, I tell you what, because I've got, obviously a bunch of other questions, through the about the recruiting process and so forth. But let's just go ahead and just tell people kind of what your plans are here for the next 5 years.
So I'm committing to Little Rock. I'll do a little reveal. I've got the shirt on.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Little Rock Wrestling. Neil Erisman, Javier Maldonado, and Jake. I had to do it because I knew.
Oh, I like it.
Man, I tell you right now, you couldn't have picked better people to be around for the next 5 years without question. And I remember you when you when they first started having interest in you, and I started talking to Coach Maldonado about you, and I said, man, you guys are crazy if you don't get on this kid. So, yeah. So it's kind of walk us through it now. I mean, so that was the first school you said that was the first school that you visited, right?
Yes.
Okay.
My first
What
official visit.
immediately grabbed you about Little Rock? I mean, how'd you get to Little Rock? How did you start it out there, and how'd you get what was the first one?
I think Coach Maldonado contacted me like last October, and then we just stayed in contact. I went on unofficial just for like a day, like right before junior duels, and then on the way to junior duels, stopped by there again and saw them at Fargo, talked to them a bunch, just stayed in good contact, and they just said like, let's get you down here as soon as possible. And I just felt like they had everything that I needed, and it was a place where I definitely fit in and can see myself being very successful.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So now, you said that you gave a lot of the other teams a chance. What were some other schools that you visited? You know, because I know that obviously they're not the only ones that had a great deal of interest in you. What were some of the
officials to Chattanooga, Gardner-Webb, and then unofficial to Pitt.
Okay. All right. Good. All great schools. I mean, that probably didn't make your decision that much easier. I mean, all four of those are pretty great schools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, when you went to Little Rock, let's say the first time, what was it about? Was there something specific that where you're like, man, I could really see myself here? I mean, was there one, or was it a combination of a lot of things?
Really a lot of things, the coaches, practice partners, schedule, like the goals they have for themselves there, and very organized, and they've got it all together where I feel like I can get there and focus on wrestling and take care of my schoolwork too, and just be as successful as I can be there.
Right. So now throughout the process, did it get stressful a little bit?
Yes, because I really liked every school that I visited. I liked every school a lot, so it made it pretty difficult to make a decision. But I was confident for the past couple of weeks now, and that's why I decided to make my decision.
Yeah, no, that's great. And like I said before, I mean, I know those guys personally. Obviously, like I said, just talked to them the other day, and you couldn't be in better hands for sure. I mean, just great people, and that's really what you want to do at the end of the day. For the next 5 years, you want to surround yourself with mentors that are really going to help you, not only grow as a wrestler, because anybody could do that, here in the country. I mean, you get Division I level where you were looking, you can, everybody knows wrestling. Everybody knows a single leg from a high crotch and a double leg, but you got to be around people that are, you're super confident in, that are going to make you a better person and help you excel in all different, walks of your life and all different walks of your college decision and your college career for sure. So now from a wrestling perspective, what weight class what are you projected at?
Most likely 174.
Yeah.
They've got good lifting and like weight management programs where I'm going to be, I don't weigh much over that right now, but where I'm going to be getting right to weight the right way and keeping my strength throughout the season. And they talk me through all that. And they're on top of that too with lifting and strength and not losing your strength during the season and not having to worry and stress about weight, but getting to the right weight for me, which I think I'll start at 74 and then maybe eventually go up.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see you, being at 84, maybe even a little bit bigger by the time you get out there. I mean, you've got a pretty good size frame on you, and obviously you're a heck of a worker. So I don't see how you couldn't be putting a ton of muscle on when you get out there. So I've been out to Little Rock, and it's a really unique place. It's a really, I mean, people wouldn't think, being that the program is so new, that they have the facilities that they do. What did you think the first time you saw the facility?
They're awesome. Everything's new, big, everything you need, really. Their own weight room right there, sauna, everything.
Yep. Yeah. I went out for a dual meet, and I guess I'm going to bring this up right now, Jake, because, you guys are in the Pac-12 now, and you will be competing against one of my old teams, Cal Poly. And so let's put this in perspective here. You got to, take it easy. I don't want you like consistently beating Cal Poly kids. I want you you know, I still got, I still got quite a bit of allegiance out there with my boy, Cerritos and Chewy. So let's just kind of keep you, I wish you the best of luck in any team you wrestle against, except those Pac-12 battles with Cal Poly. But I actually went out there a couple of years ago when Cal Poly was wrestling at Little Rock, and I saw the facilities. I think when they very first built them, but they added so much on. They add that weight room is really nice. That's locked into there, and obviously the sauna area and just their whole recovery area, and just they have. I mean, the amount of mat space that they have in that standalone building is really, really impressive. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, you know what I mean too is the arena that they wrestle in is really cool.
Yes, they've got the octagon mat. I think that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean they're doing a lot of really good things out there, and it's really and for people that don't pay attention, I mean, all they got to do is just look at the recruits they got coming in. I mean, you're not the only solid recruit. I mean, they had a Fargo freestyle champ on their team. That they got in their recruiting class the year before last, I think, either last year's class or year before. I mean, so they're not just recruiting middle of the road kids. They want to win at wrestling out there. I mean, they got some good kids coming in.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Now you mentioned your partners out there. Who did they have some guys specifically that are not only on the team right now currently, but guys that are coming in that you feel very, very confident are going to help develop you?
Yes, they gave me a whole list. They had the day I left, we had a meeting. They gave me a sheet. It had pretty much all the reasons to go there, and it was very specific down to everything, lifting, practice partners, coaches, how they want to improve my wrestling. That was one thing that stood out to me too, is they've spent a lot of time watching me wrestle, and they've already kind of started to give me the plan, okay, this is what we want you getting better at, this is what we think you do good, and how they're going to develop me. And that gave me a lot of confidence in how much I'm going to improve when I go there, because it's not just come here, you'll get better. They're very specific about it.
That's awesome. That's great.
And they've got Stephen Little, freshman ranked. They've got other good recruits around my weight. Mm-hmm. Kodiak, another Tennessee kid around my weight. A couple of JUCO All-American 184. So they've got a lot of good kids.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. Did you hang out with Kodiak Kennedy when you're out there a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I love seeing him out there, man. I think that was a really great fit for him, and I thought that was a really good pickup for them as well. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, how about the actual school, Little Rock? Obviously, when it comes down to the recruiting process, we just had Kevin Ward from West Point, who I know was in touch with you as well, and Andy Bricker on last night on the podcast, for just explaining, just kind of not only the recruiting process and what college coaches are looking for, but also when they get there, kind of what the daily schedule, just basically they gave their whole, bird's eye view of what college wrestling recruiting process and college wrestling is like in general. And everybody was in total agreement, obviously, that you have to be very, very comfortable in not only just the wrestling surroundings, but you really got to be comfortable with a lot of your different surroundings when you go to college. What was it about Little Rock's campus and the actual school, everything besides wrestling that really attracted you there as well?
Classes aren't too big. They're considered smaller classes, so more personalized instruction, and the campus is all kind of right there, and they've got their study hours. And I like the academic advisor too a lot. He stays on the guys about getting their study hours and not just letting them clock in and watch YouTube, but making sure they're staying on top of their work and doing the right things so that they can focus on wrestling. Mm-hmm. And it seems like the guys there, they're taking care of that, because wrestling, people say student athlete, but they were kind of saying athlete student is what you really want, but you do got to take care of the school so you can put wrestling first. But mm-hmm. School is obviously comes first. Unless you're taking care of it, then you can put wrestling first.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of school, I mean, because I know that you're academically, you're really strong academically. I mean, that so that's obviously been a big part of your high school career. What do you study? What are you studying at, and what are you looking at as far as for academic future?
The plan right now is engineering, probably mechanical.
Okay, so they obviously have a pretty good program for you there.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. That's I thought you wanted to be an engineer. So just talking to you, so I thought that was pretty good. So Yeah, well, you got some Tennessee guys out there with you. I know that they're on some other ones, and I think that I think Little Rock is definitely I know just talking to Coach Hobby and Coach Neal, I know Tennessee is definitely a state that they're really kind of plugging into, and just because they know we got a lot of good things going on here for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, you and Kodiak kind of helped paving the road for us out here.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So now leading up to this point, and I'm just kind of all over the place a little bit of this, but like I said, I know like people are intrigued as far as kind of like what kind of leads up. But like when you had you Fargo, you All-American in Fargo, you had a really good junior duels. I think that they were very impressed with you in the junior duels, both freestyle and Greco. Then you had a pretty good Fargo tournament. And then I think the Elite Eights, when you really started, people like you started knocking off some ranked wrestlers there, and people started really, kind of taking note a little bit. Kind of what kind of advice can you give to kids that, I mean, because when you're like your freshman year and sophomore year, I don't think you're super highly touted. There probably wasn't a whole lot of schools on you at those particular times. So now, what did you have to do like the last 2 years to really kind of step it up and really, kind of move forward in this recruiting process?
Just staying consistent and just wrestling hard. Really, like that's mainly what coaches are looking for, and at the same time, that's what's going to help me get a lot better. Is just going out there and not giving anyone too much respect and just wrestling and getting into my positions and just believing in myself more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, junior duels like that helped a lot because like that was the first tournament like in the past little bit that I really thought I did like performed really well,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just took it I did well and still learned from that and just kept moving forward and just staying super consistent training, and all my coaches, shout out to all of them for helping me a lot and helping me get better at what I need to get better, and long-term stuff too, not just stuff that's going to win now, but like the simple stuff, the single legs, position stuff that college coaches want to see too. Like they don't want to see you go out there and hit a lucky throw and beat someone. They want to see you go out there and beat someone the right way. And
Yeah,
stuff
no,
like
that's a great point. That's a great point. Obviously, us as coaches, we try to continue to hammer that in to kids, young kids, middle school kids, high school kids, the importance of those positions. And that's actually a really good point, that's where college coaches want to see you. They want to see you in those positions and how you can respond to them and how you react to them and so forth. So yeah, that's a great point. So how do you think like all the junior duels teams and the Fargo stuff and all the different national tournaments, what type of impact do you think that made on the recruiting process? From when you started doing that.
everything really. I mainly like some coaches say like, oh, I didn't even look how you did the state tournament. They don't even look at that stuff sometimes. They just want to see you compete against the best. And I think it's fun for me too. Like I want to go wrestle the best guys. I want to compete against those guys and all that experience, and especially the dual tournaments, going and getting 15 matches in a weekend. I don't think there's anything that'll help you get better like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate that shout out for sure. We're always trying to talk more and more kids into joining our national dual teams on the in the summer there, and you've 100% been a staple in everything. And that's one of the things out there for the kids that are either listening now that are tuning in and they want to know kind of what it takes. I've kind of seen over the last 3 years since I've been back in the state, kind of your progression, so to speak. I mean, for you were a 16U moving up, and there was never any doubt. I didn't. If there's always a handful of kids in the state where you just know that they're going to be a part of that. They're going to be on the duels teams. They're going to be at Fargo. They're going to be at the Super 32. They're going to be here. They're going to be there. They're going to be. If you have a training camp, they're going to be there. They're just super consistent. And I know, the years I spent at the Division I level, we took that into account. I mean, so kids that are listening, coaches that are listening to this, and the ones that listened to the podcast last night, understand that the value of just being at these events. I mean, you didn't win all these events. I mean, you won the state tournament, but all the other ones, you weren't like winning Fargo. You weren't winning this. You weren't winning every match of the junior duels, but your consistency is one of the things that we as a state organization could always count on you. Always. We knew, okay, we got Stacey at this weight, or if it's a who's number one tournament, or if it was a backyard brawl or whatever the case may be, if you were available and weren't in Canada, you were, I mean, we knew that it's just a no brainer. Okay. Yeah. I know he's going to go. So that type of consistency, not only as a state organization, we appreciate that, but college coaches look at that. They do. They like kids that are at everything and that are performing at everything, that can do well at everything, and not ones that are just kind of hiding out and not really doing that type of stuff. So hats off to you, man, and just your journey. Cause I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you come from Green Hills, Tennessee. I mean, you're not coming from Wyoming Sam or Blair Academy. I mean, you're coming from Green Hills, Tennessee, and people see that. And I tell you what, it's a different deal when you have the type of access that some of these bigger programs throughout the country and bigger states have. When you're doing that stuff out of it's a small school in Tennessee, that's super, super impressive. So I know they got a good one. They definitely got a good one. So what's your parents think? For those that don't know the Stacey family, telling you the parents are, man, no wonder Jake turned out so well. Man, great parents, great family. They're pretty pumped about it.
Yes, they're very excited.
Yeah, probably pretty excited. Not so far.
Right, that's what they're already talking about. What hotel are you gonna stay at when we watch duels? Already looking forward to stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you started going up to Pennsylvania, like, whoa, wait a second here. I know I mentioned Cal Poly to them, and they're like, oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and give them the number. give them the contact. I'm too crazy about that one. Oh, that's great, man. But I know earlier you gave a shout out to all the coaches that have kind of been with you through this process. I mean, go ahead and like I said, this is your time, man, to give your thanks to people that that are really very influential in your development ever since your little kids club to where you're currently now, and so go ahead and use this time and this platform to. I just know what kind of a kid you are, and I know that that's what you're about.
All my high school coaches, Coach Arlette, Coach Mitchell, Coach Crowley, Coach Clint, Coach Williams, my club coach, young guns, Coach Hicks at Cumberland for always letting me come in and work out, Cole Smith, wrestle with him a lot, and definitely my family too, family, friends, grandparents, brother, practice partners, everyone really.
That's awesome.
And other coaches in the recruiting process too. Just everyone, school included, athletic director. I feel like I've got a really good support team, and that helps me do these things, get to these tournaments, and get to these camps. Because I'm 17 years old, can't fly by myself and do all this stuff. They all got to be there for me and be a part of it too.
Yeah, that's awesome. And one of the things too, I mean, and this just popped in my head. So, I mean, and like I said, and I love it when good kids, like when great things happen to great people in general, but especially, kids like yourself, great kid, great things happening to you. But this would be, I guess, I've already talked about you, like, as far as like, you being at everything, you being consistently working hard. But on last Saturday, we had a camp here. And we had Jeff Bedard come in from Reinhardt and Reinhardt University, an AIA school down in Georgia. Good friend of mine, Bedard, ran a great camp. Jake was over here, and he has a friend, Alex Alesquez, that wasn't here, that had prior commitment, couldn't come to the camp. But Jake made it a point, because Jeff obviously saw Jake wrestle, and he was like, oh, wow, this kid's tough, man. I want to talk to him. And I said, yeah, he's, you're 100%. You don't want to get on him. So we obviously had a conversation with you, and you didn't even hesitate. I just walked up to you, giving Jeff Alex's name and number, say, you got to reach out to my teammate because he's really good. You'd really like him. That's as selfless as you could possibly get. That's exactly why you're in the position that you are right there, for sure. So, and hopefully Jeff's called him. I'm going to follow up on that.
Yeah, I'll have to ask him soon.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. I know Jeff will. But man, I tell you what, like I said, we cut this short, these short to a half hour. I was hoping to get one more senior on here, but he's not ready to make it all the way public yet. So when he does, we actually have a couple more that we're trying to schedule up here, because like I said, we have we're just starting this thing in Tennessee, as far as getting kids that are committing to D1 schools or NAIA schools, D2 schools, that type of stuff. So we're looking forward to doing a lot more of these, either emergency podcasts or scheduling them on a regular basis, and letting you guys kind of get the limelight for once. You did a great, you did a great job of laying down how you do it. You came armed and ready for the whole gear stuff. Some of these some of these are gonna be a little weird though, because I won't know. I knew this one, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I talked to Javi yesterday, Javi and Neil, but I won't know in the future, so I won't know what shirt to wear. So I'm just gonna have to wear a blank shirt. I won't be able to support just like I'm supporting here, supporting Stacey. So. But this just gives me another excuse to go and drive out to Little Rock. I'm going out for a match this year. Like I said, I went out a couple years ago, but I'm going to make it an annual thing, and come out there. But now this gives me one more reason to go out there. So
Definitely.
Looking forward to it. Well, awesome. Jake, Stacey, you got anything else, man?
Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Anytime. And like I said, I'm sure we're going to have you on again because you're going to do some great things, competition wise here in the next year. So I'm sure we're going to have you on and talking about, as a guest here as a guest in the show. And man, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully we got, some views here tonight. If not, I'm sure people are going to check it out tomorrow because I know it's last minute. But again, no surprise whatsoever. I called Jake Stacey. Hey man, you got to come to this, you going to do that? And he's like, yep, I'm in. I got it. Let's do it. So that's what you're getting, Coach Javi and Neil. This is the guy. So super proud of you, man. Super proud of you and so thankful that you got on here tonight.
Thank you.
All right, my man. Talk soon. Congratulations again, buddy.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Great kid, ladies and gentlemen. Great young man. I tell you, if you're going to mold a kid or a wrestler after somebody, Jake Stacey, man, you can't beat that kid. So, again, this is a first of many Tennessee wrestlers. Like I said, love to see you guys on here. Me and my co-host, Kenny Sloan, moving forward, love to continue to highlight anybody that's making any commitments, whatever level it be, whether it be NWCA club level, NAIA, D2s, D3s, D1s, whatever it is, whatever you're doing at the next level, man, this show is 100% about you. And yeah, like I said, so reach out to us. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight, and anybody that watches in the future, just make sure, like I said, like and subscribe our episodes. That does a lot for us as well. So take care, everyone. Thanks again, and we will see you soon.